My life, I've been taken advantage of so much. It's because I genuinely am a good person and I'm easily swayed by people who are struggling. But please remember one crucial thing. When you are a good person, you are the one with the most power. Don't ever think that the exploiter or the powerful one holds all the cards. There's an ancient, classic principle. When you are a good person, asterisk you are the most powerful. It's not about being smooth-tongued or flaky, it's about genuine goodness. Because when you are good, you have the power to choose your friends, to choose your partner, to choose your employees, to choose your boss. You are a wonderful meadow, and the horses must come and choose you asterisk. And when you are a good person, you have the right to next all unhealthy relationships. When you are a good person, you have the right to choose who you help and who you say no to. But when you are not a good person, then damn it, you never get to choose anything at all, do you? When you are not a good person, you never get to choose anything. When you are a good man, you have options. But if you're not a good man, you have no choices at all. There's a great phrase I learned from my older brother: quality man. Strive to be a quality man, a man of substance, not someone who's constantly chasing after this girl or that girl, never bothering to develop himself. Never trying to optimize himself every single day to be better, to be smarter, to earn more money, and to contribute more to society. When you are a quality man, you get to choose everything. You can even choose to be ugly. But if you're not good, you get nothing, you can't choose anything. So let's try to be good people. If we're not good in one area, we can be good in another. If we don't have much money, we still have this or that. You're still number one, right? You give a lot, you contribute a lot, and that's fantastic. Many of you might say, what's the point of giving and contributing? I remember back in the day when I was completely broke, I'd go out and if I met an old uncle or auntie selling lottery tickets, and if they accepted money, I'd give it. If they didn't, I'd buy 2 tickets. It's only 20,000 dong, not much at all. To them, encountering someone struggling, your 3,000, 5,000 dong change might seem small to you, but to them, it's a lot. Then you'll say, well, if you help them, they won't go to work. Recently, an American told me something that sounded interesting, but I don't think it's logical. When you help someone by giving them money, you're actually harming them. But what they do with that money is their business. If we can help, we should just help. It's our own good karma. Why should we avoid it? Having someone to help is a stroke of luck, you know. All right, these are the questions. We respect religion and we respect regions. We are one people, everyone. If we want to fight, let's fight foreign nations. If we want to fight, let's fight the Westerners or China or Thailand next door. What's the point of fighting among ourselves? See someone succeeding and immediately try to pick a fight, or hear someone from the north and start criticizing Northerners. Hear someone from the south and criticize Southerners. Dragging Buddhism or Catholicism into arguments, it's so childish. We are all adults here over 18. We need to think more deeply. First for ourselves and second for our nation. When we watch soccer and Thailand beats us, aren't we furious? We go online and curse them, right? So let's direct that competitive spirit towards foreign countries. How can we surpass them? By establishing multinational companies and competing with them. That's what we, as a people, should be doing, instead of bickering and fighting amongst ourselves. Next question, how to learn lessons from failure and rise stronger. Why are all these questions about failure? First, how do we learn from failure and rise stronger? Guys, we only have about 20 years of active work in us. Please note this, we only have about 20 years where we are at our sharpest, most creative, what I call our most powerful, period. People like Elon Musk, Trump, Warren Buffett, Ma Huiting, the billionaires, Bill Gates, they are exceptionally advanced, not ordinary humans. They are extraordinary, their intelligence far surpasses ours. But for us ordinary people, common folk, we have only 20 to 25 years of our most creative and sharpest work. So let's try to use these 20 to 25 years as intensely as possible. Fall down, get up. Fall down, get up. Fall down, get up. Relentlessly, without wasting time waiting. Only then can we truly make the most of it. So I'm answering your question, how to fall down and rise stronger? Get up immediately, don't even think. Failure and pressure in life are just a game. When you play a game, do you always win? Does anyone win immediately? To become an excellent gamer, you inevitably have to lose your ass off at the beginning. Life is exactly the same. Start again immediately. If you lose in a game, you restart immediately, right? Like Flappy Bird, you crash and you restart immediately, right? So why do we wait in life? What's the point of healing? It's a waste of time. The more you heal, the more negative and weak you become. Fall down, get up. Fall down, get up. Fall down, get up. Our lives are very limited. Play the game hard, everyone. Go for it fiercely. Make mistakes, fix them. I've taught you many times, be meticulous, then make mistakes, fix them. Meticulous mistakes, fix. Meticulous mistakes, fix. Go, 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 go. That's how we keep rising continuously. Remember, hardship, failure, obstacles, and difficulties are an inherent part of life. If life had no hardship, no difficulties, no obstacles, then all 10 of us would be the same. Everyone would have money, everyone would drive a Mercedes, everyone would drive a Lamborghini. There would be no differentiation, no reason for us to strive. And if that were the case, why would a key Vang asterisk tail of gold be worth 90 million now? If everyone could buy gold, it would only be worth 1 dong. If life were so simple and easy that everyone could afford gold, why would it be 90 million? Why would a Bitcoin be nearly $100,000? Do you understand? This differentiation is necessary to create assets to drive development and for the ethics of our society. So, difficulties are inevitable. View them as basic and simple. Like hair growing on your legs or hair turning gray as you age, it just happens. Don't try to avoid it. Treat it like a silly game. These challenges are forging you, helping you get better every day. That's the solution to rising stronger from failure. Okay, next question, also very good. How to avoid getting caught in dangerous shortcuts on the path to development? In short, how to avoid the risk of failure due to getting rich quick. There's an unshakable principle, everyone. Bao fat thigh bao tan asterisk what's quickly gained is quickly lost. Why? Because when you go fast, you lack a foundation. You have no knowledge, no experience, and certainly no real-world lessons. You lack the ability to handle failure, the ability to solve problems. When you shoot up fast, you also crash down just as fast. For example, 2 people earn 10 billion. The one who earns 10 billion over 10 years will be much more secure than the one who earns 10 billion in 6 months. Why? Because the person who took 10 years has accumulated so much experience, so many lessons learned. They've built defenses, contingencies, all sorts of things. The person who took 6 months simply cannot match that level of experience. How could they? But this isn't to say we should just take it easy. We need to blend both, be careful and cautious, but also move quickly. Fast but cautious. Cautious but not too slow. And fast but definitely not too fast. Never be reckless. Never think about getting rich quick. How can you get rich quick? If getting rich quick actually worked, you just take a Get Rich Quick course from some guru who tells you to do this or that, and then all 10 students would get rich. Then everyone in society would be rich, right? Like I said earlier, if everyone had money, gold would only be worth 1 dong because everyone could buy it. Land would be 1 dong. Bitcoin would be 1 dong. You have to understand this. If getting rich quick was real, everyone would be driving Lamborghinis, and Lamborghinis would sell for 1 dong. Because when demand is too high, prices fall, right? Do you understand? If everything were simple, everything were easy, you'd fail completely. Do you understand? If earning money were too simple, too easy, all of us would be drowning in wealth. Even the gurus wouldn't need to teach how to get rich anymore. Because if I learned from a guru and got rich, I'd open my own class and teach too. I'd replicate 100 people just like me. The guru would lose his job, I'd become his competitor. Do you understand? So the point is, everything must be step by step. From A to B to C, all the way to Z, even the alphabet works like that. But we as people want to skip the whole journey and demand to get rich quick. It never happens, everyone. Never. The people you see who seem to get rich quickly either, 1, they gained it quickly and will lose it quickly, 2, they had an incredibly strong foundation, or 3, they are exceptionally talented and truly deserving of admiration. Those in category number 3 are usually the ones who boast very little. They enjoy sharing, they enjoy contributing, sometimes they're not even active on social media. That's a key sign to help you recognize people. Thank you, everyone. That's all for today. I hope to see you all again very soon. And above all, everything I share, I don't do for personal gain. If I were to sell a book or a course in the future, just as an example, it would still be based on this idea. I want to create communities, environments where I can meet people or the right people to provide specific training. Or a book is simply a legacy. And I'm confident that if I ever do something like that, the products and things I create won't be overly driven by personal benefit or commercial interest. The spirit of contribution will be very high. You've seen the content, the messages, the journey I've been on. I give my all. And I don't care about selling anything to you. I run many businesses, and I have never once told you to go support this or buy that from me. I've never brought up cosmetics, or any of the hotels I'm investing in, or the restaurants I'm building, and said, hey, go to this address and support Dan. Never. I've never even mentioned that I have these restaurants or hotels, these chains. I never talk about it. I don't care about that. My greatest hope and desire is that young people, those who see these things, will change and develop for yourselves, for your own lives, that you will transform your mindset and subconscious. The Vietnamese people will be different, very, very different.